weeks later, when quarantine is lifted, Victor packs all of his things. And there he says to Igor, "Well, I leave to go home now."
"Yes, you do."
"Come with me, Igor."
"Really?"
"Yes, you've proven your service and loyalty is good, and, well, I've enjoyed your company."
"What will you tell Elizabeth when you return?"
"I will tell her that I have been a fool, and that I should never have done this work that I have done."
"Well then, what will I do if I return with you?"
"You will be my assistant still. You'll help me in whatever I ask for, if that's all right with you."
"Oh, really, Victor, you have done enough to make me grateful to you forever."
"Well then, let's go home." After a long journey, Victor returns to his estate. There he is greeted by his father, saying, "Victor, you've returned." "Yes, I have." "How's Elizabeth?" "Well, she's not been in the best of conditions, but I think you'd better explain to her." William then comes out and says, "Victor, you're back." "Hello, brother." William then says, "Oh God, who's this ugly mug?" "William, this is my good friend and assistant, Igor. I found him on the streets. He was abandoned by a circus and, well, he's quite useful and resourceful, and I think he needed a friend just as much as I did. Igor, this is my father and my brother William."
"So pleased to make your acquaintance."
"So where is Elizabeth?" "She's in the living room." Victor then enters the room. Elizabeth then says, "Victor, you're back. Did the quarantine end?" "Yes, it did, Elizabeth." "So what is it you've been doing over there that's been so important, more important than I have?" "It was some experiment I did, and I should never have done it. I want to forget about that. I realize that I am not some miracle worker. I am not God. I'm a scientist, and that's all I am. I should just do the knowledge that God has gifted me with. And I have been a fool. Elizabeth, I know I upset you and hurt you, but I want to make amends of that. Will you do me the honor of being my wife, if you will still have me?" Elizabeth then goes all emotional and says, "Oh, Victor, yes. Yes, I will." "Excellent. Well, we have a wedding to plan." Meanwhile, back in the German wilderness, the creature helps out this family in all the ways he can. One night, he sees the mother is educating the children. She writes a word on a slab and says, "So what does this say?" The children eventually break the words down and read it, and says, "Friend." "That's right, friend. You two are friends. I'm your friend, your father's your friend, and your grandfather's your friend. Friend." The creature watches and mutters to himself, "Friend, friend." He then watches the family from a window. He sees the blind man playing his recorder and sees the blind man as he touches the bread. He said, "What is this, my son?" "Father, that's bread." "Could you pass me the wine?" "Of course, father." The creature looks and says, "Bread, wine." The creature then returns to the barn where it sits on his own. He then puts his hand into his pocket of the coat and finds the journal. He opens it and looks. He then opens the diary and studies the words, managing to break them down, eventually saying, "This is the journal of Victor Frankenstein." Over time, the monster teaches himself to read and observes the family from a distance, learning fast and learning quick. He then sees the old man as his son shows him the Bible, reading another chapter in it. The creature learning and studying fast, his brain waves moving fast. He starts to learn how to read more. As for the family, they struggle with more chores throughout the months, and the creature happily helps them. The family, oblivious to the creature, they just put it down to the spirits of the forest. When Christmas comes, the family leave out some small foods for the spirits of the forest. After the family go inside, the creature comes out from hiding and looks and says, "Spirits of the forest." He then takes a bread, a small bottle of wine, and some cheese and an apple, and says, "Bread, cheese, wine, apple." The creature then takes a huge bite out of the apple and is happy, hiding back in the old barn. As the creature reads on in Victor's journal, he starts to study more and sees his whole creation, eventually working out that this is where he comes from. "Oh, this is how I was born." A couple of days later, the family go out to get firewood. The man then says, "Father, you'll be fine here for a while you get firewood." Of course, of course." The blind man then makes his way outside and begins to play his flute. The creature watches him from a distance and then steps on a twig. The blind man then says, "Who is there? Hello?" The blind man then returns back inside the little cabin, where he warms by the fire. Then an aggressive debt collector comes and says, "Right, I'm here for my rent. Where is it?" "My son and wife and his 2 children have gone out." "Oh, of course. They leave their defenseless blind old beggar. Look, just because you have no eyes doesn't mean I'm going to go easy on you. Now where is my money?" He then grabs the old man and drags him around, saying, "I don't have your money, you must talk with my son." Then the creature places his hand on the debt collector's shoulder. The little girl then comes back and sees the creature saying, "Grandpa, Grandpa, Mother says I should keep you company," and she then sees the creature. As for the debt collector, he's holding him by the neck, dangling him. The creature then crushes the debt collector's neck, killing him. The little girl then runs, screaming. The creature then goes outside to try and stop her. He then takes the debt collector's body and throws it away into the pig pen. As for the blind man, he says, "Thank you, my friend, for helping me. Please come inside and get warm." The creature then goes back into the house and says, "Who are you?" "Friend." "Yes, you're a friend, but what's your name?"
"Name? I don't know."
"Oh, you poor man. You must be lonely. You know, I have prayed for a long time for a friend, someone I can help. You seem to require help."
"Yes, help."
"Don't you have any friends or family or anything?"
"There is one person and some others, but they are pretty. I am ugly."
"Well, let me see you with my hands." The blind man then touches the creature and feels all around. Feeling his hands, he then says, "Oh, you poor, poor man. Well, you have a good friend here right now. My son reads me this book, the Holy Bible, the greatest story ever told. You know, God has a plan for all of us. We are God's children."
"What about me? Am I God's child?"
The creature then takes the Bible and looks at it. As for the little girl, she runs to the family, saying, "Mother, mother, he killed a man. He killed the bad man." "What do you mean he killed the bad man?" "Quick, quick, come." The family then hurry home. The blind man then gives the creature some bread. She then says, "You must be famished."
"Thank you, my friend. You cannot read the Bible?"
"I cannot see it. I am blind." Then the family return home. Horrified at the creature, they say, "Get out of our house! Get out now!" The blind man trying to explain, but with the son enraged and the children scared, they scare the monster away. The creature then runs and retreats from the house. He then cowers away. As for the father, he says, "Come on, pack your things. We must get out of here now. We are leaving this place. Nothing but bad people, especially with our debt collector. He's never nice when we can't pay our rent. And whatever that thing is, odds are he'll be back." As for the creature, he weeps in sadness and cries. He then looks at the Bible that he still had in his hand when the family scared him off. He then looked in it and says, as he starts to read,
"The Holy Bible."
But then the monster realizes that he hasn't yet finished the journal of Victor Frankenstein. He opens it and looks inside. He then eventually reads to the end, finding the lines written in there: tomorrow this journal and its secrets will be destroyed. The creature, then upset and angered by this, then knows that Victor Frankenstein rejected him. He also looks and finds an address on the back of the book. The creature then returns to the farm and discovers that the family have gone. Saddened by this and angered, he then makes a fire from observing the family over the months that he stayed there. He lights a fire and burns the farm to the ground. Then the creature watches it burn and then says,
"And I will have my revenge, Victor Frankenstein."
The creature then looks down at the ground and sees the recorder from the old man. He picks it up and says to himself, "The only man that was nice to me, gone." The monster then looks angry and then begins his journey all the way to Geneva.